What's up, folks? Kuro the artist here. I just got some quick updates on both the Discord and the Wiki. Let's just keep it simple and get right into it. First of all, the Discord rules are getting updated yet again. There's not a lot of changes, really. It's just trying to define the rules to make things more clear. If you've been in the server a while, you've known that I've always been hesitant to be too detailed and too specific with the rules, just because I feel like the more specific you get, the more people actually abuse those details. For example, if I gave a list of every single banned word, like every isolated word you're not supposed to say in the server, folks are gonna try to use that to get around that. They'll find like the one word that's not on the list and be like, oh, it's not on the list, we could say it, and it's gonna be offensive and horrible, and nobody wants that. Or they'll spell it slightly differently and just be like, oh, it doesn't count. And it's like, do you really care that much to be offensive? I don't know. So like stuff like that, we keep flexible enough where we can apply it to anything that fits that category. But over time, we have run into areas where we need to flesh out the rules a bit more. So the rules have gotten a little bit of an overhaul. Please read them when you get a chance. We might fine tune them over the next few days if we're still finding that some things aren't clear. But as of now, we're in a pretty good spot, I like to think. And second, this has to do with the Wiki, specifically the commissioned aliens. And this is a change that it needs to happen. And when I say it, I would appreciate if you hear me out. From this point forward, anything on the Wiki is fair game to use, including commissions. And let me explain why. For one, I've always wanted the freedom to say that anything related to 5YL is free for anybody to do whatever they want with. For one, I don't even own most of the characters or franchises in 5YL, so like, why would I even try to claim ownership of it? And second, I just want people to have fun with the series. I've been doing it for 6 years now, and despite how much the ink tank has grown, when it comes to 5YL itself, it's fan fiction. Arguably held to a higher regard just because of the attention it's gotten and the dedicated fans, but I mean, it's fan fiction. You know, so just read it, take what you want from it, and go nuts. I don't care. I hope you have fun, honestly. And one way I wanted folks to have fun with it is to be able to contribute to the 5YL multiverse. Easiest way being, if you get a commission and it's able to line up with the universe, we could put it on the Wiki and say it's actually part of the story. Ben's Arsenal is obviously the top one that gets expanded. Everybody loves to create their own alien and have it added to the arsenal and see it on the Wiki and be like, that's now canon to 5YL, and that's cool, and I'm glad that we're able to do that for you. But with all of the problematic implications like art theft or people assuming that because it's on the 5YL wiki and I'm out here saying anything 5YL is fair game except for the commission aliens, like, I understand why people would want it that way, but it makes things too complicated and carries like an indefinite task for myself and the moderation team to uphold. A task that none of us even wanted. Like most artwork commissions, you pay for the art, you get the art, that's the end of it. 5YL commissions, you pay for the art, you get the art, you get a wiki page, it's added to the universe, and you're expecting everybody to make sure that nobody can ever touch it or use it for anything forever. And you're expecting us to make sure that that's true. So you're basically saying you pay a one-time fee of 40 bucks or something, or however much I used to charge for commissions. And all of the Discord mods, which are volunteers, by the way, already who have to monitor thousands of people on an ever-growing server, have to uphold this forever. It's just, does that not seem unfair? It's more of a challenge to put specific protective restrictions on selective parts of 5YL. And we didn't even start off doing it that way either. It was originally, you put it on the wiki, it's part of 5YL, it's fair game. And we didn't want anything different. It's just, every now and then we'd get a user that says, I don't want my creation used for anything other than 5YL. All right, sure. Sounds reasonable. But then that cascaded into becoming like a definitive rule that's the norm because everybody else started following the leader. And I guess, yeah, by complying to it, we agreed to that standard, but it's not something that we made up ourselves, not something that we wanted to do initially, and not something that we expected to become an indefinite obligation to hundreds of different aliens. Like, folks are more protective of their 5YL fan commissions than I am of 5YL. Sure, things were different back then, but now there's hundreds of commissions, the fan base has grown exponentially. Things are just, they're different than they used to be. It's so much bigger, so much more complicated. And this includes edits of the 5YL art that the ink tank itself does. I know some people out there, they like to take the drawings that Ash and I do, slightly edit them, and then claim them as their own. Like, sure, I'm fine with that. Like, have fun, edit whatever you want. But then trying to say that that's now your property and nobody else can use it. For one, it's not even your drawing. And second, you're posting it in a public server where the main appeal is that 5YL is like a fan fiction playground for people to explore and adapt in their own way. You can criticize it, you can enjoy it, you can ignore it, you can do whatever you want with it. That's the fun of it. We understand that this may upset some fans, but you have to understand what kind of implications this has from our perspective. And I hear myself, I know this can easily be twisted into something that I'm not saying, so please try to understand the point of all of this. But just because you commission something from us, you can't expect us to have the responsibility to shake down each and every time somebody else re-uploads or reposts the work, especially on other other websites, that's just an impossible responsibility. And it's something that I'm honestly surprised we even found ourselves in this scenario in the first place. It just evolved into this. And the rules of the 5YL arsenal expanding was created along the way, because it was never something that was developed with 5YL's core to begin with. It's just something fun we thought we were doing. And now all of a sudden we're responsible for making sure we're locking down hundreds of aliens based on everybody else's personal preferences just because it was commissioned. We want fans to have a way to be part of the 5YL multiverse by having their commissions hosted on the wiki. But we no longer can be responsible for wrangling down other people's use of the content. This divides our attention and gives the moderation team extra responsibilities that no one signed up for. And it's unfair for you to ask us to draw your creation, post it on our website, but not allow anybody to do with it, at least in terms of how 5YL works. I hope you can understand this. Please don't twist this into something it's not, but this is a decision that I have to make for the benefit of the 5YL community, the moderation team, and the purpose of 5YL in the first place. So from this point forward, if it's on the wiki, it follows the same rules as anything else in 5YL. It's fair game for people to use. It's just, we can't say like 95% of 5YL is fair, except for this specific 5%, and now we have to uphold that on your behalf forever. So I hope you all can understand. Have a fantastic rest of your week, and as always, keep it fizzy.